Omal masawal no sa pamilmay. Eme di bulngit kadamilngi ra presidente. Ngagidan lamay ma tutrangan lomo la. Program lagi dari alsil se presidente aktualisa se mal di mo kay ngak. Hindi kalsal mal mo kumang. Mal di ngar se lungil tel genen. Nga ka Philip Proclay. Nga kaya chairman resel do se SPDC Palau. Sel center ngar Belau. Sel pek orte gu ngodo dur gumul gere la small business. Akmal mo misel excited. A small business blol ay gaygi de gel lomu la arogul gurul. Nga ka maktiregal lulmu ulman ne magiging negegre ulmu ulul badar takluk el altain kami amdek masing ngaria business el blaguru kurulil ma tribal mokluk. May gigi dia result tra asyobay lomu ul magigre. Matial Palau Small Business Development Center el ngia header ngia Lisa director el altain agi osiga fund maudaswo may giro ulte al el gire la small business misel guk bolte el la business el mogro el momoklo agi guk amoy temral mong yang mamal mute el help am gegre legi de presidenta ngariar ngalge del kodra school every year graduate from Pala High School Vicente Petania Mudakngay Madrigal PMA Madrigal ngariar ngalge del kodra college almost every year Madrigal ngariar adad retire almost every year Trigigi del adad agire del malmowil mistrir ekipate al giril tial balwada giril di ngaringia open opportunity ra bekaltan every year trigal ngalgeda ami available mo true mo sorry long show kay mga kadregal so kalol ngitrim se voltarmud edo siklolel ngaringia opportunity ngar belal di open ra bekaltan lakadi the close ra bekaltan mo adrangod el bulu memel ngaringia teal raudas open new business malu teal raulio el mo ngalgeda abekelier seguir bien veces se mal suagal di mo oywi a gegrel aligrel al tutay presidente el gilsara newspaper yang akmul wasay honoring the past embracing the future yang mal di mulut kelgiran ngal wasay from the humble beginning of a 1965 Toyota station wagon a toolbox and a $400 in my pocket. I am honored by the continued support from our customers for the past 40 years. Our commitment to you by offering routine maintenance, mechanical, contracting, installation, retail, and energy efficient solution is integrated part of our community. These are some of the small language for us because we are a small business. Maybe for a big business, it's nothing. But for us as a small business, it means a lot. And also from the point of view of the bank, it says a language such as this: fund pre-development cost, including property surveys, real estate appraisals, title search, plan draft, review and certification, project-related insurance, borrower equity in cash, and consultant fees, feasibility, and technical studies for business customers. Are these the language for us? I don't think so. This is the statement from the bank, National Development Bank of Palau. And this is why we resort ourselves to look for fund and opportunities for small business. Without small business, without small things, there's no such things as a big things. Direkan lariate legal saknas ko amrigel aklo visitera amle piskor kama maragi mara kenge saura ngaramo. Yakpora sersele pulo se field. We used to mow this yard with a lawnmower, and we used to plow it with a plower called the Mary Killer, small one. But look at this side now. At this warehouse, we have a machine, air-conditioned machine. You step yourself into it, and it mows the yard, the farm, and plow it for you at the same time. It plants it. So the farmer starts from the very small, and now he's big. Not only big in equipment, but also big in sales. So he can meet the economic of whatever place you're in. Maigigida sa kalaway sa at time as President, Palau needs support on small business. Especially the new ideas that we can accept every year from kids, and also those that were sleeping for many years and just retired from the government, and now it's bright in their mind, and they can put them into places. I love to mow yards. I go to my farm every weekend. I fill up the green machine with fuel, and I mow for hours and hours. I love it because I used to do it. So I would like to recognize the attendance of our distinguished guests today. They are His Excellency, our President of the Republic of Palau, Johnson Toribio. Please give him a big round of applause. Honorable Minister Jackson Hiraingas. Elder Masik Tidong from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Representative of Palau SPDC Advisory Board members. Here today is Harley Fletcher and Mary Ann Delmel. I don't see here today, and also myself. We are the member of the board. Our most valuable partner, the UNDP team, led by Mr. Ahmed Mustafa and Ms. Mezi Khan. Palau Community College, represented by Dean Joe Chilton. AK Women's Organization, represented by Roberta Lowe. Director Tobias Marbo, Ministry of Community and Cultural Affairs. Palau National Youth Council, represented by various youth representatives and state rep. Also, Kenny Reclay, the Coro State Youth Council. Palau Bank Association, represented by Joe Koshiba. I see him, he's here with us today. Palau Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Gibbons. Palau Tourism Association, that's Carol Hiraidis, is with us today. Some of our representatives is from PWFM, WWFM, KRFM, OTV, Kiabelao, and also, of course, Island Times. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, let me take this moment to convey our sincere appreciation for your support. And before we begin, we would like to open our programs in honor of our mighty Lord for blessings and to guide us today. Is one of Palau's most distinguished young and elder, Mr. Masik Tidong.
And as we bow our heads and pray, we're going to do. Father in heaven, Lord, you can sense the very excitement in what's going on this morning. Father, young men and women have come together to plan and to envision and to find support in helping their youth through the business sector. Father, it is in your will that we learn to work, that we learn to support the society through any means that we can, and one of them is through business. Father, this morning as we come together here, this is very special. And so, Lord, because it is so special, we want to ask for your special blessing upon it. May you be with the planning, may you be with the meetings, and may you open our minds and our hearts. And Father, as we can sense now, it is an exciting moment to be alive. It is an exciting moment to be here in this meeting. So I ask and pray for your blessing upon it. And Father, be with all those that are participating here this morning. We thank you so much. We lift up all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Malbasaula Elder Masikta. Galada Sirakutul Mirbelau. And Tara Adal Gumis Ringi Mal Admairi. And at two time, no dia ko help masih ngaral word sa bokula bal describe ni. Maktilura friend ra anggor nga kara ngagi dele. Kalam yus la si ngartiang ila. E gural mor obis maklub tercera sel dictionary na. A dictionary na ka describe masih his pride, his intelligent, diplomatic, humble, a articulate speaker, a problem solver. Ladies and gentlemen, His honorable guest this morning, His Excellency, and our President of Republic of Palau, Johnson Toribio.
Mang Saula, Senator to be Philip Berkeley. Malungit ito level review. I just came from the women's conference. I gave a keynote address. So I was slightly late, so my apologies. But I arrived here on Sunday night, and I happened to be seated next to Ahmed Mustafa from Egypt, and he's here on behalf of UNDP. So I'd like to welcome you and the other lady from Fiji. There is no shortcut to success, but hard work. That's rule one. No one who is industrious starves. The term industrious comes from industry. I believe in free market economy. Look at our economy. The main industry is tourism. There are only 10,000, about 14,000 Palauans living in Palau, about 6,000 foreigners. Don't have enough customers. If not for thousands of tourists to come a year, most businesses would die. If not for the grants from Taiwan, about 10 million a year, most companies in Palau would fail. No projects for them. If not for the grants from the United States to education, to health, a lot of businesses will fail. We need customers. That's why we need to have people live in Palau with us. So my first bill when I took office was to reform and liberalize our foreign investment law. We know that economy and business is based upon at least 3 or 4 things. Number 1, we must have some land. Number 2, some capital. Number 3, some know-how. And of course, clientele. My son went to school in Japan to be a mechanic. He cannot establish his own shop here, repair shop, because not enough customers, not so many here. So he's looking elsewhere. So there's a fundamental overhaul that has to be done to liberalize our investment laws. If you want to make money, be close to where the money is. The more there are businesses in Palau, they tend to help each other. So that's rule 1. But let's begin in a small way. Number 1, you have to be committed to work hard to accomplish or to achieve your goal. That's rule 1. Number 2, you have to have access to capital. That's the banks and perhaps my responsibility with the Development Bank. Number 3, you need expertise. I know one thing. We have to work smart, not necessarily hard. Of course, they go together, but we need experts to help us. So through this small conference today, Youth Entrepreneur Solutions, I was sitting there thinking, what can I do to help? I think we should have a regular symposium. We just had one for tourism, where we have representatives from the Development Bank, from private commercial banks, from young entrepreneurs, from more experienced ones, from the government, to help us understand the condition economic condition of this nation. Because you cannot go out right now and build a shop to sell anything unless there are customers. I just came from Guam. They can make money just selling noodles or coffee or ice cream because they have more than 1 million tourists a year. But in a small way, let's all begin with one step at a time. You have to have a dream, access to capital, and know-how in some land. Look at this building. It's at the right location. It's unique. Location is important. But there are so many restaurants and shops in Palau. Don't have enough customers. So I think the first challenge that faces Palau is for the President and the Congress to reform our investment laws, to bring more capital to Palau, to bring more customers and clientele to Palau. Because among ourselves, we just go back to simple subsistence economy. Not enough customers. 20,000 people live in Palau, permanent, about 20,000. The last survey we took, 14,000 Palauans, 6,000 foreigners. And we have 14,000 voters. Many live in Guam, looking for greener pastures. So it's a major, major challenge for me as president of this country to try and create more opportunity in the private sector. Because right now, the best job, the best paying job, the easiest job is being a senator or a delegate. You make $50,000 a year, you don't work like full time. So that creates a wrong model for us Palauans. Because every young Palauan wants to be a senator or a delegate. I was one for one term. And believe me, it's a 4-year term. And if you get accustomed to that high-paying job, after that, it's difficult to be re-employed in the private sector and get a minimum wage. But let's all begin like Philip said, or my uncle Roman. He had nothing. He began doing little construction here and there, small buildings. And at the end, he made more money. And he kept saying, it's mine, I can put him on the ground and burn them. So take care of business, my sons. So I think it all begins from the inside. Do you have a dream, a passion, or do you want to just be a regular employee? And in the business world, you encounter hardships, challenges, how to make a payroll, how to pay your loan. It's complicated, but don't let that fear or the threat of losing money overcome you. I think you should be committed to go through all difficult times, because no success has been achieved without some hardship along the way, or sacrifices which have to be made. So, Philip, I'm simply here to listen to you. And I will ask my Minister of Public Infrastructure, Commerce, and Industries to work with you, to organize, I would say, a symposium as soon as possible. Bring the Development Bank people, bring the bankers, some speakers, UNDP, SBA, and others to address us, to help us. You know, I was an ambassador to Taiwan, and I noticed something about the Chinese. The Chinese will do anything to make money. They try to minimize cost and increase profit. You can take a Chinese out of China, but you never take China out of the Chinese. They're merchants. They're entrepreneurs. They make money in Palau, selling Chinese dishes and other things. Why can't it be like that? because we Palawans come from a different culture. We came from a culture of going fishing, tending taro patch. When there's food available, we sit down and talk in Diangal, the canoe house. We have no Diangal anymore. We have Ditaram Matal in other coffee shops. And I like to remind us of who we are. There's a book which was one of the required readings in universities in the States, called Being a Palawan, if you take anthropology. And there's a line which Ted Glenn likes to quote to me all the time, and I'm going to paraphrase the line. It says, Palawans consider leisure as their right, only to be interrupted by the necessity of work. You can see that everywhere. Palawans like to talk, chit-chat all day long. Ambassador Beck refers to the occasion when his wife comes to Palau and meet his sisters and aunts. He says, well, they're going to engage in chew and chat. So I'm not going to change our culture, but those who want to be successful must rise above our culture of live and let live and struggle and fight to achieve your goal. In Palau, you have only a few rich people here. And you can tell one thing about them. They're aggressive, they work hard, they don't sit down and chew and chat. You know, only their children do that. But those who made money, I remember my uncle, he doesn't know how to party. Doesn't know how to relax. Go to the Rock Island, start cleaning. Go to his house for a party, he start serving food, even though he's the boss. Because he has to do something. And that came from the Japanese upbringing. So I'm just saying, there is no shortcut to success, but hard work. The government should help to ease the way for the young entrepreneurs, and we will do that. So Jackson, work with Philip and Lisa and others, so we can have more discussion about how to be successful. And I'll bring some Chinese businessmen. Because they come here with nothing, and then person they make more money than we do. I just came from Guam. I met Willie Tan and his father. Willie Tan, as a young student in Guam, used to come to Palau and show the Chinese kung fu movies. They had nothing in Guam. Now they own Fiesta Hotel. They just built a library here as a grant. They help Micronesians because they work and they work smart. So I encourage you guys, young Palawans, to learn not to depend on the government too much, but on yourselves. You know, let me say a few words about Palawan Mines, because I just came from Guam. They had an IRI 22nd anniversary celebration. And so I went there with the governor of IRI delegate from Kyoto, Marabood. We all went to Guam. And we brought so much food. My wife sent 1,000 biltong. I took some fish because they still have this sense of entitlement. And that's the enemy of success. That's the enemy of success. And the government is now the most favored employer because they say it's easy to work for the government because you just get paid. Nobody watches over you because I can't see everybody. I only see my staffs around me, but I don't see anybody from different departments. But if Palau were to succeed in the future, we must develop entrepreneurship. When I was negotiating the Compact Review Agreement, which I signed in Hawaii on September 3, 2010, I put in place a provision, unlike FSM, the marshals, to control the grants, but I put in place an economic advisory board with 5 members. So if that Compact Review goes through the Congress, that will be in place. Palau will appoint 2, US appoint 2, and then the 5th one will be selected from a list of 5 I submit to the United States. They submit the list of 5 to me, we choose 1. And I intend to look for the best business minds in the academic world or the business world to represent Palau. Because we need, I would say, we need smart experts on business. A lot of the money of the compact which went to other islands were lost because they put them in the wrong, they invested in the wrong projects. So that part of the compact review was intended to bring the best minds to help us develop our economy. Because you gotta work smart. I'm also working with the PNCC to install the fiber optic, because without that, Palau will fall behind. So I'm doing the very best I can, but I promote your goals to be successful entrepreneurs. I want to bring some Chinese businessmen, some friends of mine, to speak the next symposium. How they come to Palau and open a small shop and then pretty soon they have more money than we do. Because it's from the inside out. They're entrepreneurs, they're born to make money. One Chinese businessman told me, in the United States, they emphasize human rights and freedom. In China, we emphasize how to make more money. Because if you have more money, you can buy freedom. If you have freedom, you can make money, or vice versa normally. So it's a simple statement, but reminded me that the Chinese, they now dominate the world. US owes so much money to China because they try to make money everywhere they are. They can sell you anything. They sell tea and noodles. And anyway, I just like to emphasize the fact that you have to have it from the inside. Nobody can tell you to be rich. They can give you money, but being rich is from the inside. Be industrious, work hard, sacrifice, look around, find opportunities, and move on. And if you fail, learn from your mistakes and move on. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. I have failed many times in life, in sports, everywhere. But I learned from my mistake. It's not how you fall, it's how you rise again. So with that, I will say I appreciate being here today. Mr. Ahmed, Mustafa, I'm glad I met you on the plane. I hope you enjoy Palau. I hope they treat you nice. How about the young lady from Fiji? Your first time in Palau? Wonderful. I've been to your place only once passing through, but one of these days I'll come and visit your country, beautiful country. So thank you for coming to join us, and we hope you will contribute to the discussion, how to make money. But you cannot make money by talking, by sweat, by hard work, by sacrifice. And I will talk to the bank to make sure that they liberalize their lending policies, make it easy for Palauans to access money. By the way, I am told that Palau is one of the most difficult places to access capital in the world. So it's my job to help do that. But in the meantime, let's thank Philip, everybody here for being here today. We have a common goal, how to make money. In God we trust. That's US money. Lepas masal nakamong emray les kuatra giting palio bang gamiu. Kamasal de Philip, kita minister ngartiang organize something bigger than this one. Kamasal.
Sakto po sa President. Mansaula Presidente man silmas al sungule me obangedren al chilse nam skida malungil advice ma promises ngin dire la future gid ara small business me umera ubese recognize ra maldi mall other all bill name bangedren al tutaw ngi honorable delegate Jerry Nabeyama. Directly, Dr. will recognize the AK Women's Organization represented by President Roberta Low. Nga ka era kol ranek sel gester gide swakal din mutel losi at ginger pulo asya minister Jackson Ngiraingas ngai gidingel partner ramar ada SPDC ngarngi sel memorandum of understanding se yaw ulma SPDC spel ngarbelaw tergigid ya umra ramar ngarbelaw e nga kamal swakal mrenga sulel ring without his guidance and his support SPDC ada kal spel way sigir elarsis Aktiregal mal swakal extendera o sisilong ringal Saulo mora NDPP gigida representative vice acting president NDPP lo bangir al tutaw ulay tertul SPDC aigel fundra SPDC motrura NDPP trigeya host taigal umra la fundra map release el merkamam idregal mal Saulo ulay la extendera helping mera SPDC egidro bulwol masih small business ada kas malmo sophisticated warang before they begin ma SPDC will all help a small business to iron out the egidro requirement mula wa business plan submit el mora bank for funding ela wera dolmo dolmol ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call upon us Mr. Ahmed Mustafa. Ahmed Mustafa, ngai amle approve sel yes project tergid Youth Entrepreneur Solution mung swak long amay gansang mung momski da more detail long sode. Ahmed.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests, the Minister, our partners. It's our pleasure to be here partnering with you in this initiative. Well, as the President said, make money. Income generation, of course, is crucial. You need to work hard and you need to work smart. But this is not our only or primary goal in this initiative. It's our primary goal is to actually prepare future generation for leadership, to have a generation of leaders, whether it's in private sector, public sector, or future presidents and ministers and senators. Teach them and let them lead the way. It's as simple as that. You will provide them with the skills, the business ethics that help them rise above any cultural barriers, as the President mentioned, and then we'll lead them lead the way to be successful entrepreneurs and businessmen and women. And if they choose to be public servants, they will also be successful public servants. We can actually notice that globally, the mean age of presidents and public servants are really much lower than 20 or 30 years ago, when most presidents and heads of states were above 65 or even above 70, the age of Reagan and all those heads of states in Russia or Japan or China anywhere. But now we look around, they're young, they're very young. And they started their career at a very young age. They were taught well. They were taught well, and they were allowed to lead the way. And that's what we hope for the future generations of Palau. To have the skills, the capacity to actually lead the way for the future. The future of young private sector driven growth. Not only private sector driven growth, not only youth driven growth, it's young private sector driven growth. Direct all this energy, enthusiasm, risk-taking behavior that the youth are known for, right into in the right direction, where they can actually take in the business initiatives that many elder generation will be reluctant to do. Our youth, if they were taught well, they will do it, and they will be successful. And we all believe that. It has been proven everywhere in the world, and we hope to see it the future here in Palau. Thank you very much.
Malmasaw la Mr. Ahmed. A program kita iwagil ko para beginning. Unfortunately, nagida dan malasyasi kita presidente na maral. Ginelo ko gila malgi mo tira minister mo spelme syasi raw. Di tiawal ko rate leke minister ng artiang mutul ko o idrang regal gila small business. Malbiswa kan mutul di subtrira crowd ng arteria pula si nga ka nila degree nga ka political science siya raw October akong daswa si kaya kanila kal enough alu ba kanila kal peska kawil job sa alsela balu maklilutal kan tinyon malara makros ang mga minor economics ma accounting sige din yam no level there of this week pula si magara dong siya balu. Yeah, in terms of economics, you always assume and put a blockage or fence around you. May get assumption na mo correct. Sel dosu, yakan masih assume, yakan ngara imol ke karel blay. Kira imol ke karel blay, yakan ngara imol island. Luba ka mamas, mawanan ngalgel saan, mawanan ngalgel di. Temo happy. Al-subum tengi titir arten al-adar oleh selmo pentri malu benya ay gigil ya gire del mes ra al-sela bulwa ma al-sela bulwa da gire del momis si ngungil ad expand the population of Belao mo 1 million or 2 million we will be happy or should we maintain our what we have now and improve from it. De buktungur nga kay Presidente Robert Talo through Raskulek bumarak masih opportunity is always there and it's only good for children of the country. So opportunity must be kept within us and must be prioritized for our youth and teenagers. Makmalulit masih subo mga ate eliu bukamil nga saydara brulala e momes segi del teal de abalwada ke grey ma opportunity ni mangigre kamal mari la bodo millionaire at sebelo di agege del group mase gire el keep el for us my gage the small business el doru are for our children it's for us makmalol itra se al subu mengari ate eliun mo south please support the social idea segi de lobang expedition since Ahmed am nota kasi mal nakatatwisel yes program gibo mo muurni el mortigel age 18 el mo 25 akmal suakal appreciate malungilo la Lisa Abraham niya director expedition el nosef el corner tel grant el may ela segi del bodo spare ni cook short time. All time in suakal move to recognize Ahmed, mamisik masih tirgay ahmal anor guest tigit el alsits, ekmal lumsaw, tir el time hotel number 1 at partner. Di me bu ay sir kami. Tiregal ngarni apto number 1 partner sir gid nami Brian. Sige bumas nga si Minister Jackson, madregal NDP. Gid regal partner sir gid ra pelaw. Mata gigi yang mal disual mul gemiu gabong ili sangaria soal mul orang delegate tablak recognizing mumrek di mal supaya move to recognize so di na rin salisa mengge delegate tara honorable delegate tara nagpang Jerry Nabeama lo kita ada tahu ma selbo mereka program please yang ada snack sedikit ngara abak ma ilagi tay med ng artila please di bismama kita mal right on time mal exactly 1 hour kada mumrek mel al time di gulngit ra elders in May close ra program kita loba lungu e terrible mingle se dora lata ero kita okay kuman sa
Alito brelu ada mateo sa bawal waras luwa kagimal berang sudah mertian lam kut mo kadal tutaw adam tablam qadim lar ada luwa kan berangar rangarir adam mokte arti untak delungan longo law daw Adam di mukte tilos pa kaludo lungo sira buhay. Adam matamral to bubet sa solo lungo sira kayasa ka. Matamla mastria te ala luba kal ko tagi dan yes. Luba kal lururingi mang mo sabi adam giray ngan kal mayas kin mo kalifar. Ngarinya te elir mungulak lang at luba. Adam makbigay mo mukte kal luba. Mayas kara palu ako tel dala luba eklo kutlero sumin. Makbirang ako sulim lupa kartel al-ada lupa kan ato ba kat mo kolorio lamang geman dulti mesti alam sa kanya lupa mungilak lang ati magibirang ako sulim at temra lungil al-tial mamalungil al-ada lupa kalat tutaw edi birang ako sulim ay gagawin magwaldang sa kao watak-takang luha anak nalagam ni Jesus ang iyong sabalang. Amen.
Sergumi sergi dem la mudia asra del braille mezi bulgi tergi dem mingal al telgib eda usnaks eda gada do e moral ada ke hal women picture taking Mr. Ahmed, you and Messi and Minister and also Lisa, please come forward for picture taking. Also board of SPDC, please come forward.